Town Clerk Chingola, and I'll allow my team to also introduce themselves.
Good afternoon, Chair. I'm Mango Tominachao, Director Public Health.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members of the committee. I'm Robert Mwansa, Director Finance.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members of the committee. Tumelo Ianda Nyirenda, Acting Director Engineering Services. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members of the committee. My name is Naomi Sakala, Director of Planning.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorables. My name is Mwanza Wanzi from Internal Audit.
Thank you so much. I invite the Office of the Auditor General.
Thank you, Chair, and good afternoon. And good afternoon, honorable members of the committee once again. Chingola Council, you are welcome. My name is Traxons Hamenda Mwemba, Director for Copperbelt Province. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members of the committee, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Darius Chimezalirami, Assistant Director from Office of the Auditor General, Copperbelt Province. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Lorinda Sinyani from the Planning and Research Department in the Office of the Auditor General.
The Ministry of Finance.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members. My names are Stanley Mwemba, coming from the Office of the Accountant General, Minister of Finance. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair, and good afternoon, honorable members of Parliament. Good afternoon, Chingola Municipal Council. My name is Jeffan Siame from the Control of Internal Audit, Ministry of Finance.
Thank you so much. Our permanent witness from the Ministry of Local Government.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, and good afternoon, honorable members of the committee. And welcome, Chingola Municipal Council. I'm Kazinga Kennedy, permanent witness from the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members of the committee, and good afternoon, Chingola Municipal Council. My name is Joyce Kuransa from Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Thank you.
Our Secretariat.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members, and good afternoon, Chingola Town Council. My name is Maxwell Chireka from the Office of the Clerk.
Good afternoon, Chair. My name is Chomba Mkaruda from Budget Office.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Masiliso Miangwa from the Office of the Clerk. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Rachel Chileshe from the Office of the Clerk. Thank you.
Good afternoon, TC and the entire management team. Emmanuel Walia from the Office of the Clerk.
The Madam from IT. Say something. We want to know you also. Use the mic which is near you there.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon. My name is Sarah Mbewe from the Office of the Clerk.
Thank you so much, honorable members of Parliament. Starting with the honorable member for Mangango.
Thank you so much, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. Member of Parliament for Mangango, Mwene Lohamba, the member of this committee. Thank you.
Honorable member from Mfumbwe.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. My name is Elliot Kamondo. I'm member of Parliament from Mfumbwe.
Honorable member for Usakile.
Thank you, Chair. TC and your team from Chingola, good afternoon. Kalobo Pavyuma is my name. Servant of the good people of Sakile constituents, Kitwe in the Copperbelt.
The people of Kaumbwe.
Thank you, Chair, and good afternoon, Chingola Town Council. I'm Honorable Dr. Aaron Mwanza, Member of Parliament for Kaumbwe constituency in Petauke District of the Eastern Province. Thank you.
I was checking for the honorable members who were following us online. My name is Christopher Shakafuswa, Member of Parliament for Mandevu constituency. I am the Vice Chair of the committee and privileged to chair this session. I wish to call upon you, Town Clerk, to present your memorandum.
Thank you very much, Chair. Good afternoon once more, and good afternoon to all the members of the committee. Chair, I would like to seek your indulgence to present to you some documents that we have, some which were not clear, which were attached to our memorandum, and others which we had to get after the document had already been submitted to Parliament.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Chair. So, Chair, on page 15, we have an item that talks about staff. And if you go to Appendix F, we did attach a sample of staff returns. We just want to make mention that we have a full set of the staff returns as it stands for.
You can read the appendix.
Appendix F.
On page 15.
Page 15.
It's appendix 15. Is
Page 15. The item is on page 15, but the appendices are on F.
Yes.
So we are saying on Appendix F, we had submitted a copy of the staff return, which does not give the entire picture of the employees that are at the local authority. It was just a sample showing that this had been submitted to the Commission, but we do have the full copy of the same staff returns.
You can circulate it. The next one.
Please. The other one is the letter
you can hold on. Just finish making the amendments, and then I'll ask Secretary to come and pick them, all of them.
Thank you, Chair. The next one is our letter to the Local Government Service Commission, where we presented the current placement of staff. This is after we got the query on the concern on overemployment of staff. So we have given also, which is available. The other one, Chair, is under Appendix B.
Which page?
This is the query is on page 8, but referring to attachments on Appendix B. Here, Chair, we have given the report that was done by Director Engineering, which is signed this time. The one that was attached, unfortunately, had not been signed. Then we also have on Appendix B itself, basically that's what is there. We have a distribution list for the chlorine that was given to the community during our event of Global Hand Wash Day. So there's a report that was done, but we've decided also to bring the acquittal sheet that shows the community persons that received the chlorine. Chair, when we go to Appendix C,
yes, please go ahead.
Under Appendix C, we also have a clear report that talks about pothole patching. We've also brought a statement from the bank. We only managed to get it afterwards, showing the payments that we did during, to offset part of the statutory contributions. Then we also have a letter referring to the payment that was made to NAPSA. That is appearing at Appendix J. The query is on page 18. And finally, we have minutes for the engagement meetings that we've been having with various stakeholders regarding the implementation of various projects in the district. Chair, with that presentation, I submit.
Do you have enough copies for all the members? Or you want us to photocopy the extra submissions?
Not enough for all the members, Chair.
Okay, so my guidance to you and those who are yet to come before the committee is that any council bringing extra information should make sure that they bring enough copies for all the members, including the permanent witness. Making us go into photocopy is also consuming our time, and is some of the matters, when the copies are coming back, you find that the issue has already been dealt with. So we would want to have enough copies as you make your addendum. You can go ahead and make your presentation.
Much obliged, Chair, and thank you very much.
Secretariat, please pick the extra information. Yes, Town Clerk.
Chair, the first query is on the annual performance of the council in terms of budget and income. That is on page 2. We'll go straight to the response. Under the cause, we are saying management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state the following. We've actually gotten the queries one by one and have responded in that manner. Under local taxes, we are saying the variance under local taxes was as a result of non-payment of property rates by Konkola Copper Mines, which was then under liquidation and owed the bigger percentage of the debt. The council was owed a total of 76,598,722.74, where only 26,809,552.96 was received on 31st July 2024, leaving a balance of 49,789,169.78. Under the fees and charges, Chair, we are indicating that the under collection of 5,666,041 was due to slow payment for plot fees, that is under regularization, by the developers issued with demand notices in Chikola Loop area, which is an area in Chingola. And this was especially after titles were issued to the various persons under the National Land Titling Program. On licenses, we are indicating that the variance of 116,462 was as a result of stoppage of issuance of the occupants licenses by the local authority with a view of upgrading all unplanned settlements. Under the local government equalization, we are saying the variance of 1,353,893 was as a result of delayed receipt of the December 2023 equalization grant. Under the levies, permits and other receipts, we are reporting, Chair, that the over-collection was due to the measures put in place by management to enhance revenue collection, such as the constitution of a task force. In fact, there are task forces, there are 2. Procurement of utility vehicles, which are being used and to enhance revenue collection, and equally the engagement of bailiffs. Action taken. Under the local taxes, the local authority entered into a scheme of arrangement with the liquidator of KCM in line with the Insolvency Act, which resulted in a part payment of 26,809,552.96 from the outstanding total of 76,598,722.74. Under the fees and charges, management has compiled a list of properties from which the queried amounts were to be received with a view to proposing to council that the amounts owed be declared as a bad debt. Under licenses, management has updated the database and has since removed those who were captured under the National Land Titling Program. Under levies, permits and other receipts, management has updated the database for levies, permits and other receipts to include those that were not budgeted for. The remedial measure, Chair, Council shall endeavor to budget based on realistic and updated database whilst using the baseline of previous performance guide. The next query, Chair, is adverse performance on local revenue collection. It speaks to the same thematic areas in terms of revenue. Chair, we have the same responses as what was on the first query. With your indulgence, I'm not too sure whether I should go through or...
You can go to the next query.
Thank you so much, Chair. The third query is on deliverable targets, outputs not achieved. So there was a status of the 2023 implemented activities, and we've responded to them according to the items indicated in the table. In our response, Chair, we are saying under the cause, management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that under electrical and street lighting, the inability to achieve the deliverable targets and outputs was due to inadequate funds. Action taken. The local authority has since engaged KCM, among other cooperating partners, through the CSR program to put up the new street lights in the township in order to enhance public safety and service provision. Secondly, the council has since maintained the traffic lights which were queried and they are now operational. All the air conditions in the council's building were worked on and are operational. And installations of solar floodlights in markets have been budgeted for and will be executed in the year 2025. Remedial measure, council shall endeavor to execute works according to the approved budget. The next query, Chair, is under roads and drainages. Under the cause, management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that performance of 71% out of 100% on maintenance of roads and 66% out of 100% on drainage lining was due to inadequate funds then. Action taken, the local authority has since maintained 261 kilometers of non-bituminous roads, and the council has since worked on 7 kilometers of drain lining in Mikiloni, Moba, Mchinga, Chabanyama, and Chingola Central areas under the 2024 annual program. Remedial measure, council shall endeavor to execute works according to approved budget. Under the water supply and sanitation services, cause management acknowledges the auditor's observation and regrets the oversight of not availing the activity report to the auditors during the audit. The action taken, the activity reports for the training of the view washers are available for verification. Remedial measure, council shall continue to form and train view washers for each water point developed. Under the query on adult literacy, on the cause, management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that performance of 50% out of the 100% target on adult literacy was due to low turnout from the would-be learners, as most preferred to engage in trading activities. Action taken, The local authority has continued with the sensitization of the communities on benefits of adult literacy. Remedial measure, Council shall endeavor to engage the community members to undertake adult literacy training with relevant stakeholders. The query on revenue, we are saying under the cause that management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that performance of 75% out of the 100% on sensitization meetings with stakeholders was due to an oversight on submitting the minutes for one of the stakeholders' meetings held in the year. The minutes for the stakeholders' meeting are available for verification, Chair. And on the remedial measure, Council shall endeavor to adhere to the planned schedule of meetings. The query on building inspectorate, under the cause, we are saying, Chair, that management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that performance of 56% out of 100% on stage inspection sites development was due to some developers having not commenced their property development, and some are still under construction. Action taken. Management has since been carrying out routine inspections to enforce development control. Remedial measure, Council shall endeavor to enforce and control development in the district in accordance with the Urban and Regional Planning Act number 3 of 2015. The other query is on solid waste management. Under the cause, Chair, we are saying management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that the procurement of the second consignment of PPEs for the Department of Public Health was due to insufficient funds, as management had to procure for employees in other departments such as market cleaners, ablution cleaners, grave diggers, street sweepers, and surveyors. Action taken. The Council has continued to procure PPEs for essential officers under the Department of Public Health and other departments. Remedial measure, Council shall continue to procure the PPEs for essential officers in line with the conditions of service. Under health education, Chair, we are indicating on the cause that management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that the performance of 83% out of 100% on training of food handlers was due to companies with people to be trained having not paid for the service. Action taken. The Council has continued to sensitize the traders as well as business communities on the importance of having the food handlers trained on food safety. Remedial measure, Council will endeavor to sensitize the business communities on the importance of having the food handlers trained on food safety. The other query, Chair, was on a commemoration of Global Hand Washing Day. The cause, management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that the activities for the Global Hand Washing Day were commemorated at zonal level. This, Chair, was through holding of debates and health education sensitization meetings. The action taken, the activity reports for the Global Hand Washing Day are available for verification. Under remedial measure, Council will continue to effectively plan and commemorate such important events. Under the pest control, Chair, on the cause, we are saying management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that the scoring of 74% out of 100% performance on dog registration was due to non-compliance by dog owners and failure to pay the dog registration charge, especially by those in the peri-urban areas. Action taken, the Council has continued to sensitize communities on the importance of dog registration, vaccination, and has further conducted the dog cropping exercise within the district. Remedial measure, Council will continue to sensitize the communities on the importance of dog registration and vaccination. The other query was on chlorination of wells. Under the cause, we are saying, Chair, that management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that the chlorination of wells was not executed due to the preference taken to procure household chlorine for high-risk spot areas during the cholera outbreak in 2023. The action taken, the Council has continued to budget for the activity and engaging other key stakeholders like Mulonga, which is a water utility company there, and KCM to partner in well chlorination. Remedial measure, Council will endeavor to network with all stakeholders to ensure that all water points are chlorinated. We have actually given pictures of the same on Appendix B. The next query is failure to maintain township roads. On the cause, Chair, we're saying management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that the Nile, Chiwempala and Mupaka roads, as well as Mwaiseni bus station, have become weak due to increased flow of traffic and hence developing potholes frequently. Action taken, the Council has continued to maintain the mentioned roads through pothole patching. The local authority has engaged KCM and other partners for possible partnering with the local authority to improve on township roads. Mwaiseni bus station and Chiwempala roads have also been committed to be rehabilitated in 2025 under the Kasumbalesa Redevelopment Public-Private Partnership. Remedial measure, the Council will endeavor to carry out routine maintenance of township roads and public amenities facilities through own resources, the sector grant and sector partnership. We have given some attachments under Appendix C to speak to the same. Under the cross-cutting audit findings, Chair, there's one on budget income and expenditure, and we are saying under the cause that management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that the unspent 2,956,783 as at 31st December 2023 was due to the funds being committed to and completed projects and programs. Action taken, the funds have since been spent. Remedial measure, Council will endeavor to adhere to local authority accounting procedures. We have given attachments on Appendix D. We have a query on irregular cash withdrawals. Chair, under the cause, we are saying as management, we acknowledge the auditor's observation and we wish to express regret on this serious oversight. Action taken, use of cash has since been stopped and all payments are being made direct to the beneficiaries. Remedial measure, Council will endeavor to adhere to the Public Finance Management Act. We have given some evidence on Appendix E. The next query is on overemployment of staff. On the cause, Chair, we are indicating that management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that the employment of staff was based on the staff establishment available then. Action taken, management has submitted a report on staff placement to the Local Government Service Commission for action. Staff returns have been submitted quarterly to the Local Government Service Commission to inform them of the staffing levels. Remedial measure, management will continue to submit quarterly staff returns to the Local Government Service Commission and at the same time ensure that staffing under its mandate is maintained in line with the establishment. Chair, we have given under Appendix F some documents that speak to the responses that we've given. Failure to secure properties with title deeds is another query. And under the cause, we are indicating as management that we acknowledge the auditor's observation and wish to state that the 13 untitled properties, these are dwelling houses, are in court awaiting determination on ownership disputes, whilst the other 5 council properties were erroneously not captured at the time when the others were being captured for titling. The action taken, Council has compiled a list of all properties that were not captured for titling, and the process of titling has commenced. Remedial measure, the Council will continue to have all its properties on title as guided. We have given as Appendix G documents that speak to these responses. The next query is failure to maintain Council properties. And the cause, Chair, we are saying as management that we acknowledge the auditor's observation, and we wish to state that inability to achieve the deliverable targets and outputs was due to inadequate funds. The non-maintenance of the Council clinic, workshop and warehouse, abattoir and streetlight poles were due to insufficient funding too. Action taken, management has rectified the defects queried on the Council clinic. Management has planned for the first maintenance of workshop and warehouse. Management commenced the rehabilitation of the abattoir ablution and budgeted for the maintenance of the rest of the abattoir infrastructure in the 2025 budget. Management has also uprooted the defective streetlight poles. Remedial measure, the Council will continue to maintain all its properties. We have attached at Appendix H documents that speak to the same responses. The next query is failure to install and maintain streetlights. Under the cause, Chair, management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that the failure to maintain the streetlights at that time was due to inadequate funds. Action taken, the Council has since maintained the streetlights and they are operational. The local authority installed streetlights along Kitwe-Chingola Road at a total cost of 1.7. Remedial measure, the Council will continue to maintain streetlights. Chair, we have given at Appendix DI documents that speak to these responses. The next one is on failure to settle statutory and other obligations. Under the cause, Chair, as management, we are acknowledging the auditor's observation, and we wish to state that the outstanding statutory obligations relate to historic debt that accrued over a period of time when the local authorities' resources were constrained. Action taken, Council has made payments amounting to 2.2 million, 2,984,013.47. This is from the 30th January 2024 to 10th January 2025 to clear all outstanding debt with LASIF. A total amount of 15,837,889 has been paid to NAPSA out of a debt of 20,032,941, leaving a balance of 4,195,052 as at 31st December 2024. Further, the current obligations have continued to be paid whilst payment towards arrears have also continued to be done. Council has maintained a current payment status of monthly obligations with Zambia Revenue Authority. Remedial measure, the Council will continue to pay all statutory obligations as and when funds are available. Chair, we have availed at Appendix J documents that show the payments that have been done. The next query is lack of rescue ambulance and marine rescue equipment. Under the cause, management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that the lack of fire utility vehicle was as a result of the loss of the vehicle through a fire in a riot that erupted in Kapisha during the burial of a decomposed body. Action taken, management has assigned a utility vehicle under engineering as a remedial measure for the fire rescue services. Remedial measure, the Council will endeavor to provide for the effective operation of the fire rescue services. Lack of firefighting equipment is the next query. Under the cause, we are saying management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that the lack of ambulance and communication system was as a result of insufficient funds. Action taken, Council established commenced the construction of a fully fledged fire station, which is at an advanced stage, and all the necessary equipment will be installed. Remedial action. Remedial measure, the Council will endeavor to facilitate for the effective operation of the fire rescue services. We have also given at Appendix L documents that speak to these responses. Chair, I submit.
Thank you so much, witness, for your submission. I now wish to invite points of clarification from the honorable members of the committee. Who is starting? Honorable Member for Kaumbwe.
Thank you, Chair. Just we can refer to page 14.
Page 14.
On cross-cutting audit findings. There were some fines that were unspent, and the action taken is that these funds have been were committed to projects that are detailed in Appendix D. Appendix D has 2 projects, Chiwempala Market Shelter and the fire station. These are just contract documents. Chiwempala Market Station and fire station. The combined total project value for the 2 projects is 4,300,582 kwacha. The questions I have that seek clarification is why is it that in your quest to explain the unspent funds of 2,435,072, you decided to give contracts, 2 contracts, whose total expenditure is above the price, is above the value of the monies that were in your account. The amount that is the overrun is 1,343,000 kwacha. So how does this evidence help us to justify that the unspent funds that are queried under Appendix 2 are reconciling through the evidence that you have provided? That is the first question. And the second one is how these contracts, just to give us a status of the Chiwempala Market Shelter. Is it operational? And also the fire station. Or are these monies as per the contract paid and exhausted and the contractors handed over the projects? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, witness, you may respond.
Thank you, Chair. I'll speak a bit, and I'll also allow Director of Finance to come out with the details on the expenditure. Basically, Chair, these 2 flagship projects have been undertaken under 2 phases. So we had Chiwempala Phase 1, Market Shelter, and we are now on Phase 2. At the time of the audit, we had completed Phase 1, and we're actually commencing Phase 2. The same goes with the fire station. So as to whether these projects are now complete, Chair, not fully complete because the works are still being undertaken. They were provided for, and we are hoping that we can make good of the same by end of this quarter of this 2025 that we have started. That is relating to the works that are still ongoing. With that said, Chair, allow me to call upon the Director of Finance just to give a bit of some information regarding the funds relating to the same.
Director of Finance.
Thank you, Chair. The two contracts that have been attached, the first one, if we look at the contract date when it was signed, that was on 28th July 2023. So this one, the funds were set aside. The total contract was 1.7. Then the next one for the Chiwempala, the contract was signed on 30th November 2023. So part of the funds were budgeted for under 2024 because it was not possible for the contractor to complete the project within 2023. I submit, Chair. Thank you.
Follow up, Dr. Maza. Honorable Dr. Maza.
The unspent funds that were found in that were sitting in your account, 2.435. I get your explanation that the two contracts, the total amount is 1,343,000 above the unspent funds because you are going to use part of the unspent funds to fund the 2024, to fund these two projects. Where is the ledger payment vouchers to show that these funds that were unspent are spent on these two projects?
Yes, Town Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. May I be allowed to call upon the Director of Finance?
Of course. Well.
Thank you, Chair. The ledgers, unfortunately, we didn't come with them, but they can be presented to the committee. They are available, it's just that they are not part of the attachment that we brought.
So what evidence are you bringing to this committee to show that you have spent this money, if you have not brought those documents?
Thank you, Chair. Like I've mentioned, it was an oversight on our part not to bring those ledgers, but they are available. They can be presented to
Dr. Mwanza.
Well, I think for this one, they should provide the evidence because they can. These projects, yes, they were signed in 2024, so they have part funding from the 2024 budgeting. So we want to see the queried funds in 2023 that have been spent on these two projects. To see, so unless there's another follow-up by other members, but
Honorable Kamando, another question?
I think this one also is related to what Honorable Dr. Mwanza has asked. In relation to this, I've also gone to, maybe we go to page 15, Appendix 10. Through the Chair, this is irregular cash withdrawals. So when you look at this irregular cash withdrawals, according to the action taken, use of cash has since been stopped and all payments are being made direct to beneficiaries. When we look at reference and also remedial measure, Council will endeavor to adhere to Public Finance Management Act. Let's look at Appendix E. So what Chingola did, they just the town clerk just wrote this memo, and after writing to this memo, then it ends there. So my question is, how do town clerk, how do you demonstrate that indeed you have started paying, actually you have started making payments through the bank and so on and so forth? You are aware, you have actually a lot of constituencies in Chingola. I don't know how many. Are they 4 or 5? There are 2, yes. Like the other council which was here, maybe they have got more than 5, Kitwe. So if you have got 2, meaning that you are receiving a lot of money and you are paying a lot of money, and hence you had this amount of 375,700, which was irregular cash withdrawals. Anyhow, you have CDF actually members, Ward Development Committee members coming in, and others may come from those other rural areas, and hence maybe we are also paying them, or maybe fuel refund, whatever. So how do you just write to your officers and others, and then you think we should believe that yes, this memo which you wrote here has stopped this vice? I don't know. Maybe yes, you have a comment. Can you convince this committee that indeed this vice is not going, this query is not going to come again, and that you have stopped?
Yes, Town Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. I want to agree that perhaps we should have brought some evidence of some bank transfer for maybe certain payments that we do now. But I want to assure the Chair that from the time we're queried, no cash transaction has been done. Thank you.
You're aware that the Chair doesn't forget such comments. I know you know. So next time you come and we find that this query is appearing, we will not take it lightly.
Yeah. At least even payment vouchers should have been, even what she has just told us, at least a bank transfer. That's what we are looking for. If we are going to allow this, it means that other councils that will come here, they will just be doing the same, and it will not help this committee to come up with a very good report.
Do you have the payment vouchers as evidence to support your action taken?
Chair, not payment vouchers, but we have a bank statement which speaks to some of the payments that were being done using bank transactions. However, Chair, if it is the wish of the committee that we bring in a little bit more of such evidence, we can do that.
Okay, there's some information that you need to provide in the earlier query that Honorable Dr. Mwanza was referring to. We would appreciate if you can give us this information by Friday. Any other points of clarification, honorable members? Honorable Pavyuma.
Thank you very much, Chair. Town Clerk, thank you for the submission. Chair, may I draw the committee to page 4. Item number B, adverse performance on local revenue collection. Chair, here the council had 6 items or 6 sources of revenue. 1, local taxes, 2, fees and charges, 3, licenses, 4, levies, 5, permits, 6, other receipts. Here, we've noted that only on 3 items, they performed well on levies, permits, and other receipts. Town clerk, what measures are you putting in place to ensure that the other 3 sources of fund you also perform better, so that the revenue for the local authority is improved? And in terms of these 3 others where you have performed better, what sustainable measures have you put in place to make sure you continue performing better? Page 6, Chair. But before we go to page 6, item number I on this local taxes is specifically on this mining multinational KCM. This item indicates that they were owing you 76,598,722.74 ngwe, and they've only paid 26,809,552.96, leaving a huge balance of 49,789,169.78. Have you engaged, apart from I've seen on the other correspondence where you engage them on the corporate social responsibility, have you engaged them on how they are going to liquidate this huge outstanding balance? Then we go to page 6.
Can they respond to those, and then I'll give you an opportunity to...
Okay, well guided.
Yes, Town Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. Indeed, we've had interactive meetings with KCM regarding the arrears as well as the current obligations, the payments that they are supposed to be making to the local authority on a monthly basis. Chair, like we had indicated earlier, the scheme of arrangement is a legal part of the process, and we basically await the next stage of payments, but we are being assured that this will definitely be looked at. But also, I can allow Director Finance to also shed more light on some of the issues that were discussed regarding the same. But what I can mention is we are in talks with KCM.
Director Finance.
Thank you, Chair. So on the scheme of arrangement, as the Town Clerk has mentioned, it's a legal document, and the condition was that once we are paid the 40% of what they were owing, though they only managed to honor about 35%, which is that 26 million, the balance will be paid when KCM starts making profits. And both parties had signed, and it went through the court. So we are just hoping that KCM starts making profits so that we can get the balance that they are owing. Then on the issue of the measures that we've put in place to enhance our revenue is, one, we have come up with a task force that is following up on property rates, and those who are owing for licenses, that's business levy, and these other permits. Then we also have a plan to start digitizing our revenue collection. That is one through bulk SMS, where we'll be sending SMSs to our clients to notify them on on what they are owing. And also we are on the way to engage these mobile platforms, MTN and Airtel, so that our clients can be paying through those platforms. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Pavima.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, on KCM, before I jump to the next question, on KCM, which law exempts a company to pay local taxes when they are not making profits? And do we have a local company in Chingola who has been given that chance also? Yes, and when you say when they start making profits, the tendency of these mining multinationals is they run away from taxes. They are fond of declaring losses even when they are making profits. And to my surprise, year in, year out, this is the activity of declaring losses, but no one packs and they go. Because what they come to do here is business. They come here to make profit. And year in, year out, when you are not making profits, it's to pack and go. You go and settle somewhere, but they don't pack and go. So in short, there is forced declaration. So how are you going to manage, you as a local authority, these under declarations that exist with these mining multinationals? Chair, with your indulgence, I can jump now.
Please go ahead.
Page 6. On the item number C, deliverable targets outputs not achieved. What measures are you putting in place to ensure that these targets or programs that you plan are achieved? Because we are getting concerned. All the planned activities under Chingola Municipal Council, they are in the negative. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you so much. Town Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. To start with, we've embarked on an engagement with various stakeholders, the institutions that we have in our district. Chair, we managed to meet a number of them just in the month of January, where we brought to their attention what is contained in our 2025 budget. And we requested them to buy into some of those projects and see how we can partner with the local authority in implementing the same. We have received very good feedback in terms of their interest in working with the local authority. Like we mentioned earlier on, KCM has already started committing themselves towards working on certain roads. They've equally mentioned to us that for projects that we have funded locally up to 75%, they are willing to come and complete the payments of those projects on a 25% basis. That is basically KCM. We've had other also institutions that have come in, for instance, Mimbula, where they've indicated their interest in coming up with a resource center, which is going to be used by the communities in the areas where they are operating from. We are optimistic that that will be very beneficial to the communities. And Chair, when we are finalized with the MOU and all, we should be able to share that information. They've been also managing or maintaining the roads leading to the areas where they are operating from. So, in a nutshell, Chair, we are hopeful that with the interactions that we've started, we should be able to improve on our performance on a number of targets that we have set in terms of project implementation and the programs. Thank you, Chair.
On the first question, do we have a law that exempts KCM from paying their dues and they should only pay when they are making profits?
Thank you, Chair. There is no law that exempts KCM from paying taxes, but in this case, what happened was that when KCM was under liquidation, what can I say? The funds that were supposed to be paid were actually being paid by the liquidator and not KCM. So there was an agreement which was reached between all its creditors, because they are just set out like a fixed amount to pay out the creditors. So as a result of that agreement, that's how Chingola Municipal Council found itself in, because they were what they were calling according to the amount that they are owing. So us as Chingola, we were in, should be section 2 or section 1? It should be 2. So us, they were paying us a 40%. So it is the liquidator that was paying, but currently, after KCM came into operation, they have been paying their dues according to the way they are supposed to pay. But the issue is that with the outstanding debt, I submit, Chair.
Mr. Kazinga, may comment, after which Honorable Kalobo.
Thank you very much, Chair. My comment is just to encourage Chingola Municipal that on the KCM issue, you need your legal service department to get full interpretation of the scheme of arrangements that were signed off. The parameters are not just tied to KCM making profit, but KCM being given an opportunity of coming back in operation. As you have indicated, you could be seated in a certain section out of which KCM is required to make disbursements using the escrow account. So use your legal service department. Where you have limitation, your ministry is around to interpret the clauses that sit in the scheme of arrangements. And that's more reason that document was signed off by the High Court. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Kalobo.
Thank you very much, Chair. The director here is telling us that the funds in question are the previous funds. Even previously, it was the same KCM. And when a company is under liquidation, it's operational. The liquidator, by law, should find the money to operate. And the KCM has been operating. And if you say previously, do you have specific dates when this huge debt was accrued? Do you have specific dates? So that maybe from there we can begin, or we can interrogate properly. Maybe we may be questioning you on something. Thank you.
Thank you. Town Clerk.
Chair, with your indulgence, I would request that we bring the actual information on the specific dates of the arrears maybe by Friday, but I should make mention that this is part of the information which the ministry is actually informing us that it sits on the scheme of arrangement document. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Dr. Manza.
Just in addition to what the Honorable Member Sakiri has asked, page 6, I just want to seek clarification on this statement that under fees and charges, management has compiled a list of properties from which the queried amounts were to be received, with a view to proposing to council that the amounts owed be declared as bad debt. To which properties is this statement attributed to? Where is the list, that list? And why should you declare it as a bad debt? Are you forfeiting the 49 million kwacha? Thank you.
Yes, Town Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, we are speaking of properties relating to land. Remember, we did indicate that a number of them have now obtained a title to their properties under the National Titling Program. And as such, we feel with the time that has been spent, we may not actualize or realize these monies that we kept on following them up with. So it is still in an idea of management that we could take this to the board, which is the full council, to discuss whether we can have that possibility. Otherwise, it will continue appearing as a debt which is not collected. With that said, Chair, allow me to ask Director Planning to even shed more light on the same.
Director Planning.
Thank you very much, Chair. Yes, indeed, there were some properties that were regularized. That was some time back, and the monies had been trickling in slowly. But when the Ministry of Lands under the National Land Titling Program came through, those developers were given title deeds, and some of them were reluctant to come to the council and pay what belonged to the council. However, there are a lot of stakeholder engagement meetings that we had with the National Land Titling Program, the manager there, where we came up with an idea of how we can ensure that before they are given title deeds, that those people can be paying to the council something that we're supposed to pay. Further, we are also, when it comes to paying of rates, probably we can also try to capture them so that we can salvage whatever can be gotten from them. I submit, Chair.
That is not what you have presented in this report. When did you come up with this idea of writing off these arrears? Town Clerk.
So, Chair, that's why I did indicate that it is just in the preliminary stage. We've just captured all those properties for persons that have been availed with the title deeds, because we know what it means. They may not pay.
I'm asking because I'm aware that you just had your board meeting to approve your budget in December. And so it was going to make sense that you had taken this item, if you really mean it, to that board meeting so that it's scrapped off.
Thank you, Chair, for that guidance. Indeed, however, these titles were actually being given in the same month of December. So we've just obtained information from Medici, and we are hoping that as we have our meeting this quarter, these are some of the issues that we can discuss.
Honorable Kalobo.
Thank you very much, Chair. How much is involved in these funds that you want to scrap off? And what you have extended to KCM to pay when they start making profit? Is there a local company which you have extended the same in Chingola? And my new question, Chair, is coming from page 9. Water supply and sanitation services. Cause of query, management acknowledges the auditor's observation and regrets the oversight of not availing the activity report to the auditors during the audit. Chair, I want to find out here what punishment or action has the council taken to these officers who failed to avail the activity report to the auditors, and to what measures have you put in place so that in the future such an oversights do not repeat themselves? I thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Yes, Town Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. With your indulgence, I would ask Director Finance to respond to the how much is involved on properties that have obtained title, that the monies that were supposed to come to the local authority. Then I'll also ask Director Engineering to speak to the inability to avail the minutes at the time the auditors were here regarding viewer share trainings and constitution, since water coordinator falls under his department.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. On the amount involved, it's 5.6 million.
5.6 million. The next question, who's begin? Director Planning?
Director Engineering.
Director Engineering.
Yes, on the measures that have been constituted so far there's we haven't taken any disciplinary measures against this action.
Town Clerk. Officers don't want to avail documentation to the auditors. The senior management has not taken any measures, not even to reprimand the officers. Are we showing seriousness towards the function of audit? Yes, Town Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. With due respect, we do take cognizance of the importance of audit. I'll take responsibility, Chair.
You take responsibility. What measures are you going to put in place so that this does not reoccur?
Thank you, Chair. I think going forward, as we've always discussed with management, each person will be expected to play their role, and failure to actually actualize what we plan, each one of us has to account for the same, because we've got different roles that we play which relate to the achieving of these plans that we put in place.
Honorable Kalobo.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chingola Municipal does not run a surplus budget. From the submissions here, we also learned that certain targets were not met because of insufficient funds. Have you engaged, has there been any engagement with these individuals who obtained land, so to learn what is making it difficult? And since they just got these titles in December up to today, it's not even 1 month. What instrument did you use to ascertain that these people will never pay as you have put it in your submission? And again, don't you think once you scrap off, other people will be reluctant, because you set a very bad precedence to other residents who make all the necessary efforts to pay? And for the third time, Chair, has there been any local individual or company who has been given this good incentive to pay once they start making a profit, or an individual once he or she starts getting a better salary? Thank you, Chair.
You start with the last one, since we've been avoiding it. Yes, Town Clerk.
Chair, the answer is no. Like it has been indicated, most of the institutions or the organizations were riding on the declaration of that disaster, the drought. So we found ourselves in a situation where most of them would write letters to indicate that they were unable to do this because of the situation in which they had been found in. Sometimes, Chair, when an institution makes mention in that manner, you can only push that far. We've also brought in an aspect of them making payment plans to the local authority, where we agree how much would they pay at a particular time. Then getting to these landowners. Chair, this was just a suggestion that we were making. We are yet to come back after the council resolves. I would like the committee to also know that it's not the first time that this query has come. We were here in last year over the 2022 queries, and it's the same query that came. So we were in our thinking, in our own little wisdom, we thought some of these things could be done away with by allowing for a write-off, especially when it becomes evident that these people may not be able to actually pay. But I also appreciate the guidance which is being given regarding maybe we are doing this in a hurry, and that it may give impetus to the others also not to pay because they've seen that others have been treated in such a manner. Chair, is something that we'll discuss as we get back, and we should be able to give the proper information.
Honorable Member for Kaumbwe.
Thank you, Chair. It's just a simple one. On page 17, there's failure to install and maintain street lights. And the appendix 27, which is the table, is showing that the number of installed and maintained street lights under question are coming from 3 roads. You did not state the number, but you just talked about the 3 roads that you planned to install and maintain street lights to illuminate our city. And then later, when I check your action taken, the council, the local authority installed the street lights along Kitwe Chingola Road at a cost of 1.7 million kwacha. The first question is this road, Kitwe Chingola Road, part of the 3 roads that are mentioned in the appendix? Because, yes, that is the first question. The second question is why the contract price for this solar street lights program on the Kitwe Chingola Road is, what is reported here is 1.7 million, but the contract that you finished, which is on appendix, I can't remember the appendix, but I saw it.
Appendix I.
Yeah, appendix I, it is 1.8 million. What was the, why you availed 1.7 million to the auditors? Thank you.
Yes, Town Clerk. You've gotten the question? You can delegate.
Yes.
If you don't have the response, feel free to delegate. This
Chair,
is why you have these members accompanying you.
allow me to call upon the internal auditor to also assist on the same.
Internal auditor.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, Appendix I indicates that the contract price was 1,804,865. I think this was a typo error on our part, and the 1.7 initially was less VAT, but this one was VAT inclusive. I submit, Chair.
So what figure should we go with? Which one are you amending?
Chair, is the one in the contract.
So on page 18, we amend the 1.7 with the figure in the contract. Honorable Mwanza.
Explanation that the 1.7 is less the VAT. Oh, at what rate? What rate is the VAT?
Yes, Town Clerk.
Chair, I'll still call upon the auditor to guide on the same.
Auditor.
Thank you, Chair. Like I indicated, it was a typo error, and we apologize.
Auditor. Which one is the typo error? We are listening here. You said it's 1.7 because this figure is less VAT. The Honorable Doctor has gone to compute the VAT, hence coming back to ask you, at what rate did you charge the VAT? Yes.
Thank you, Chair. The VAT is at 16%, but like what initially happened is that we had paid the contractor less VAT. Then when we went to the contract, we found that it was actually 1,800,000. If you check the ledgers which we'll be able to submit, we had paid him, by then we had paid him 1,700,000. So we sincerely apologize and say the actual amount that should be paid to the contractor is 1,800,000, inclusive of VAT.
I will allow you to correct your statement so that it makes sense. I'll start from where you started. Your earlier submission was that this 1.7 that is on page 18 is less VAT, and the correct figure is as in the contract. Okay? You have now submitted that you paid less VAT. The question was very simple: at what rate? So if I were you, I would have retracted my earlier statement and gone with the figure in the contract, so that you don't bring confusions in the way you submit. Because if you're going to submit this and that, it will bring a lot of unnecessary questions. So you have a contract here, and you're saying this was a typo. I would like to rely on the contract. That way we'll be making progress. Now can you respond?
Apologies, Chair. We rely on the amount that is in the contract.
And this was a typographic error.
Yes, Chair.
Who amend? Honorable Kalo.
Chair, sorry, I'm taking you back to...
What is the other question before?
Is it on page 17?
Yes.
There's the query was based on 3 roads.
Yes.
That are under Chingola Municipal Council. And then what they have implemented is the Kitwe Chingola Road. Is the Kitwe Chingola Road part of the 3 roads that are in Appendix 27? And why then would you, because this is a township, these are township roads, but Chingola Kitwe Road is a trunk road. So why did you implement the installation and the maintenance of streetlights on an unplanned road instead of illuminating the township roads of Chingola?
Done. Honorable Kalobo.
Thank you, Chair. I'm taking you back to page 4, adverse performance on the local revenue collection. And we jump to page 6, Roman numeral number 2, on fees and charges, where Chingola Municipal Management is saying management has compiled a list of properties from which the queried amounts were to be received in a view to proposing to council that the amounts owed be declared as a bad debt. My question is, when they scrap off these fees, are they going to expound